Oh yeah. All right. All right. Looks like we're live. We can't stream to Twitter anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. But hey, Axel, how's it going, man? We're still waiting for Jan to get in the stream. He's on standby, but I don't know what he's up to. So we're gonna get to the bottom of that. I'm just trying to trying to get everything squared away on my end. Let's do this. All right. Do some housekeeping. All right. There's that. Trying to throw this around a little bit so everybody knows we're live. Okay. Okay. So let me make sure my co-host is ready to go because I know he's on standby. Oh, I see his background. We'll wait for him to get settled, and then we'll bring him on in.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's going on, man? We just I just yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Had a
just
bit of
a
a
little, sorry, it's a bit fuzzy, the connection. It's jumpy. But I just had a bit of a familial complication, nothing too serious.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
settled now. All's well that ends well. The good guys win, and we are back at the podcast. So I think it's like the
Good.
best outcome, right?
Yeah. No, we're good. I was sharing everything to our socials so everybody knows we're live. And I just got home. I talked to the wife, kissed my daughter real quick, and then I just got everything live. So ready to go. But with that being said, we'll have a formal introduction because I've just been kind of sitting here in silence, getting everything ready. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Deadhead Podcast. Hold on.
54.
This is not 54. Oh, I didn't change the background.
Oh my God,
Oh
this is so embarrassing.
man, that
Oh,
sucks. I forgot to hold on. I can fix this. I can fix this. It's all right. You know what?
you.
It's fine.
You can.
I tell you what. Let's just put some bubbles back there. How about let's just do that.
Oh yeah, I love me some bubbles.
Or I can go with. Let's see. Actually, let's go with this. There you go.
Oh, this is nice.
Okay, well, so I usually put the thumbnail as our background, and I completely forgot to do it. So sorry about that. But what's going on, everybody? Episode 55. We're so out of sync, man. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of personal things going on. I am drained. I have worked every stinking day. I did finally gave in. I worked 8 days straight, and then I had like 5 more shifts to go, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So I did take a day. And then I worked yesterday. I worked today. I got to work tomorrow. And then I get one day off, and then I get to do it all over again. So just been busy, been very busy, but I've had some time to play some games here and there. Jan, what you been up to, man? I know you said a small little family problem for the show, but other than that, how's everything going?
Oh no, I mean it's just a little emergency, nothing too serious. Besides that, I've been doing okay. It's life's been going pretty slowly so far. At least most of the calm before the storm. It's still August, still summer. Still playing some GTA. I switched to Vice City though. And I gotta say, as much as I like San Andreas, and as much as I like it more as game wise, right? San Andreas has a lot of improvements over Vice City. Man, you cannot deny those vibes.
Yeah,
Vice
Vice
City
City
vibes,
has awesome vibes, man. Yeah, it
and
is. Yeah.
those colors, man. And as much as I like the San Andreas radio stations, Vice City, hits you with the "I want to rock" right away. And then some 99 Luftballons, and then again with some which one was it? It was the song. It was "Oh yeah, I'm out of touch." God, out of touch is just a classic. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, dude, that's
So
why everybody's so excited for GTA 6 because you're going back to Vice City in that game. So to see Vice City in
no
a
way.
modern, yeah, Vice City, man, it's Miami. It's Miami Vice. That's where the game is
Right,
based in.
right.
So GTA
Yes,
6 is
right.
going to
Of
be
course,
kind
there
of
is no
wild to
actual city
see.
called like
Yeah.
that, is it?
Yeah. So I mean, we're about to see a modern version of Vice City. So I can't imagine how much time and effort and how great it's going to look is I guess what I'm really trying to say because that's one
Uh,
thing about Rockstar, man. Rockstar's attention
yeah.
to detail is superb, you know.
Are they also going back to like the Italian American mobster kind of
Oh
thing? Because that's a big one
no,
in Vice City.
it might have a so this is what I'm understanding of it. We can get more into GTA talk as the episode goes on, but what I'm understanding is that all right. So obviously GTA 1 and 2 is its own thing because it's like a top
Hmm.
down kind of game, and
Yeah.
I played those briefly when I was a kid, but I was kind of young at the time, so I didn't really like them like that. And so then you had GTA 3, GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. It's kind of like its own little trilogy. Like they all
Hmm.
are in their own universe, so to speak. And there's a bunch of spin-offs off of that. Like there's I'm trying to think. There was a
Vice
GTA
City
on the
Stories or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, Vice City Stories on the P. I think I played that one on the PSP. It might have came out for the PS2 as well, um, but anyway, that's kind of like its own little thing. And so like GTA 4, GTA 5, and GTA 6, that's their own kind of universe. Like so, it's based in like some of the same areas. You got San Andreas, you have Vice City, Liberty City, but it's not too connected. At least right now, it's not really connected to those early on games. They kind of like sort of did
Okay.
like a soft reboot sort of thing, or just kind of like
Hmm.
its own universe. So, but that's why I kind of always wanted to see like the new protagonist interact with like Claude from GTA 3 or
Yeah.
Carl from San Andreas or Tommy Vercetti or whatever. I think it would be super cool, but I don't know if we'll ever see that. You know what I mean? But no, that's awesome, dude. I was telling Jan personally, man. I'm really I'm happy for him because like I haven't played these games in forever, so it's I mean really I haven't beaten Vice City since the PS2 days, so I'm even due for another playthrough.
Yikes.
But I mean, you're talking about games that have come out so long ago, and this is like kind of like well, this is his first time playing them through. So I'm kind of jealous that you get to see these stories again and kind of just the gameplay and just it's almost like going it's like I got a vintage cool feel to it. So it's awesome. It's really awesome. I've been playing The Witcher 3. I think I said that in my last episode. I was playing The Witcher 3. I don't know how long it's going to go though because it's a long game and I probably shouldn't have started it, but I had an itch for it. You ever have like an itch for a certain type of
Get
game,
that.
I wanted to kill monsters, I wanted to play an RPG, and I wanted to be in an immersive open world setting where open world activities didn't just feel like run of the mill, go here, do this, go here, do that. The
Hmm.
Witcher 3 is like when you talk about open worlds and things you can do in it, it's like the top of like the best you can get. And I've been really into CD Project Red stuff here lately. I finished Cyberpunk and the Phantom Liberty DLC, and I've always wanted to go through The Witcher and all his DLCs, but with my time being the way it is, I just don't see me finishing it anytime soon. And it sucks because I really am into it, but it's just one of those games. And Jan, you can probably relate with this, and I'm sure with the people that are watching, is like with a game that's as big as The Witcher 3, it's almost like a Skyrim. It's almost like a
Oh yeah.
Persona 3. It's almost like anything like that is like very time consuming. Like
FF7 Rebirth.
yeah, exact. Oh god.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's a whole other. Yeah, fuck that game. Anyway, That dude, Jan, I'm telling you, man, it sucks. I still have not finished it.
You're
I'm
at
on the
the
last
end.
part. I'm on the last part, and I don't
It's the
have any
final stretch.
interest.
It's super linear.
No, but I don't have it in me. I just don't. I have grown to hate that game badly. I don't know what it is. I just
Dear,
when I play it, I hate playing video games. Like I just don't want to play it
my
anymore.
God.
I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. There's a few things, but like I know I'm on the final stretch, but I almost don't even care to see what happens. Like I just don't even care. I still don't know what happens.
Damn.
But I haven't had it spoiled for me really too much or anything. But I just cannot find myself to go back. I will try to finish it, but honestly, at this point, I'd be tempted to like eventually just play it from start to finish. Don't do any side content, and then beat it like that. And maybe I have a different perspective on the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I recommend it as well.
I think what I was trying to do was I was trying to do a lot of things because it was fun for a little while. I enjoyed doing the towers and playing, the mini games and stuff. But after a while, it just got to be a bit much. And I think I burnt myself out. And so now I'm at the end and it's like I don't even want to finish it now because it's like I don't know. But anyway, so The Witcher 3 does everything that game does not do. Everything that game has, it gonna goes to just playing Gwent when it comes to doing the contracts, when it comes to just the main story. The side stories are some of the most emotion filled stories of any game I've ever played. So I really enjoy it. But like I was saying though, like 30 minutes or an hour does nothing for you. You need a couple hours,
Oh,
at
yeah.
least anywhere between 2 to 4 hours for that game to really get into it. And here lately, like I have an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then I got to go to bed or take care of take care of my girl or whatever. So, but yeah, but I'm super happy for Jan to be playing GTA, man. It's a series and means a lot to me and to a lot of people. I mean, I know people that don't play video games who are waiting for GTA 6. So, it's a big game, dude. I I would just want to start off with this. I wanted to ask you if you've seen any gameplay for Wukong just dropped. Black Myth Wukong.
I have not
You haven't seen
actually,
much.
but no, I haven't seen anything actually. I've just seen a lot of praise,
Yeah.
but I haven't. And I heard that it's already the most played single player game on Steam, like of all time,
Hmm.
which is insane. And
Right.
and yeah, and I'm I would love to play it if I just had the greens, but maybe when it
Yeah.
goes on sale,
Yeah.
maybe we'll be able to we'll give our early thoughts coming 2025. Exclusive Deathly podcast reviews.
Yeah, at this rate, it's looking like it might not be till like halfway through 2025 by the time I get to it. There's so many games, but I did like that Wukong is. I think it is like 60. It's $60. It's not 70. I thought that was kind of cool.
Good.
So I mean, hopefully there'll be a big Christmas sale, and maybe we can pick it up for $40 and give it a shot because it looks awesome. You know what? What it reminds me of? It reminds me, and this is going to sound like I'm being negative on the game, but it's not. It looks like Kung
Seven
Fu.
Reavers.
No. That's a disgrace. It looks like Kung Fu Panda to me. Kind of has like a Kung Fu Panda kind of vibe to me. Just like with
Because
all the, I guess with all the like other animals and stuff, which I know that I know the character Wukong. I don't know why it never dawned on me. He's the Monkey King. I don't know if have you ever seen a movie called the Forbidden Kingdom? Have you ever seen that with as
I don't think I have.
Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it? I don't know if did they
No, I don't think I have. No.
in that movie, Wukong is a big part of that movie, and it didn't dawn on me until the game came out, and I was like,
He's the guy.
"Wait, it's a monkey. He's holding a staff." I'm like, "There's no way. That's the Monkey King." And I know I probably sound stupid, but I was like started like investigating a little bit, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is the Monkey King." It's like the whole lore and the story, like the actual like myth, and I thought that's
Journey to the West.
I love stuff like that. I think, yeah, Journey to the West, exactly. And I love stuff like that. So that's definitely one I'll look into. Plus, I hear it's not a Soulsborne game, so I can actually play it and not maybe want to throw my.
What do they mean
controller
by
off.
that?
Well, I mean, it's just like it's not. I don't think it's as punishing. However,
Okay.
I have heard too that the bosses can be kind of difficult. So I mean, which there's a difference like between bosses being difficult and then just feeling like I'm getting like shafted. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a
Right.
complete difference between the two. Like, okay, some ass kicking is fine. I got to level up. I have to do whatever. But then in Souls games, and again, this is not really a bad thing, but they whoop my ass so much to the point where I don't even want to play anymore because it's like
The point is just as soon as you enter the boss arena, you're already spreading your cheeks because you know what's coming. Right?
you're already spreading.
Let's see.
Yeah, but it looks incredible though. It looks awesome. But I did hear that it does have some performance issues on PS5. I did hear that,
Come on, dude.
which sucks. So it's probably better
Every
anyway to
time.
wait for a little bit anyway and wait for it to get ironed out. So,
Or maybe you know what? Wait for the PS5 Pro, right?
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, shoot. I mean, I would think that's right around the corner. As a matter of fact, it was. We've actually had a couple announcements that apparently. So there's a big uproar going on right now, and I don't know how much you've heard of it, but I think Gamescom has happened this past week. So there's been a lot of game announcements and trailers and things like that. And one of the things that is being brought into the conversation again is that, and this is coming from somebody who owns an Xbox, but
All right.
apparently these Xbox games that are only supposed to be coming to Xbox are now going to be put on. They're going to go to PlayStation within like the first like 6 months of them dropping. Like, so they mentioned Indiana Jones, so that game that has Troy Baker playing the titular character, which I don't really give a crap about that much. I've never been a big Indiana Jones guy at all. But there's people that are like,
guy, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude,
about him, you know.
Of course, I love Troy Baker. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't really have much interest in that anyway. Like a first person Indiana Jones games, like what the hell? Like, why? I don't want to play a first person Indiana Jones, but whatever. But like, there's people outraged about this right now. Like, they're really, really pissed. And I think we've had this conversation before, which I know you're not an Xbox guy, but just kind of reiterate what we talked about. One of the things that I do miss, and we're moving towards this modern thing, is like, now you can play games on anything now. It seems like, right? Like, I mean, look at like all these Sony exclusives going to PC and things like that. I can't remember what you told me. Does it really like bother you? Like being now there's not as much exclusivity as it was like when we were growing up, right? The PS3 had games and the 360 had games, and you kind of like, if you couldn't afford both, you had to like pick. Okay, do I want Gears of War or do I want to play Uncharted? Does that matter to you now? That it seems like to me we blurred those lines so bad.
I think like now it really doesn't matter anymore. Like honestly, back then it was a big deal, as you said. I mean, the reason why I got a PS3 is because I went to a friend's house one day and he showed me Little Big Planet, and my mind was blown. I was like, "Holy shit! I gotta get this game right now." And yeah, now as you said, this is not a thing anymore. It's more about the system than the games, right? It starts with, okay, are you more a PC guy or a console guy, right? Are you more about customizable options, or are you more about a more streamlined experience? Are you willing to give up a little bit more cash, or are you willing to what's the word? Are you willing to give up some performance for a bit for a console that's a bit cheaper? So it's a lot more about that, and I think it's ridiculous, honestly. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings by saying this, but I think it's ridiculous that people feel betrayed, right? When something is imported over, because the idea of exclusivity has been gone from the conversation of consoles systems in general for so long. Nintendo is the only one, really, and everybody hates their guts for it. So I don't know if you noticed, but PlayStation stopped giving the only on PlayStation label in their games for like years at this point, at least half a decade. So it's stopped being a promise. Like, they're being very transparent, but this is not about exclusive anymore.
So it doesn't bother you that if God of War was to go to Xbox, you'd be like, whatever.
Dude, I'm glad. I'd be glad. Dude, just more people get to enjoy these games that I love. Like, what's there to hate? I think people are just being so blind. You know what? I'm gonna go there. This is capitalism at its best. This is like people being upset that people are enjoying something without having to pay for the thing that they paid for.
Hmm.
Just as a concept, it's ridiculous. It had made sense back then because then that was the big selling point, right? But
Right.
now it's not like that anymore. We are free. We're free, and people want to go back. People want to retrograde. I don't understand.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, but besides, this kind of thing used to happen back then too. Resident Evil 4, usually a GameCube exclusive, right? And they said, yeah, it's only on GameCube. It's never going to any console. I think I might be wrong here, but I think one of the developers even said that like if it ever gets ported to the PlayStation, he I don't know, eat his arm, he'll cut his arm off or something like that. He said something ridiculous like that. Resident Evil 4 got ported to the PS2 like 6 months after its original release. So
Hmm. Right.
it's nothing new. It's just that
Yeah.
now it's way
Yeah, it's much more in your
new.
face now because of just social
Yeah.
media and everything like that. I mean, just like anything else. I mean, I'm actually I'm more in agreement with you. The only so I think my problem, my not really problem, the way I'm looking at it is probably how a lot of people are looking at it. Like, we grew up during like I would say probably like the height of when gaming was getting to a point where it was getting more mainstream. It was getting so much
Yeah.
buzz. PS3 and 360 were such huge consoles. PS2 and original Xbox was too, but the PS3 and 360, I think most people would agree was kind of when things were starting to really take off. Like PS2,
That's
no
when
wrong.
YouTube happened. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Internet got to a certain point.
Yeah. So what I think people are I think people are just nostalgic a little bit, right? Like it was always like, okay, well, I get the Xbox for this or I get the PlayStation for this, and now it's like they are kind of multimedia, systems now. I'm a little let down by it. I'm not gonna lie. I think now that I'm kind of talking about it is because I guess like when I look at the Xbox, it's synonymous with Halo. It's synonymous
Hmm.
with Gears of War. It's synonymous with Forza. And, State of Decay. It doesn't have as much as PlayStation, but when I think about the console, I do think about those things. And when I think about PlayStation, I think of the God of Wars, the Uncharted, the Death Stranding, the Days Gone. If you want to go far as back as like Sly Cooper, Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank, and
Crash.
obviously SOCOM was another one that was on Crash. Yeah, I mean you can keep going in the line, and obviously I'm missing a few, but like it was always synonymous with that console, and now that it's kind of getting to a point that everything's multimedia, it's like, well, why do I get an Xbox for, right? Like they actually just put a pre-orders up for like an Xbox Series X digital version, an Xbox Series X
Hmm.
2 TB version, which I may or may not have pre-ordered. And then there was something else that I forgot what something else was released. And I'm like, people like myself and probably and probably you as well. Obviously, funds have been tight for
Hmm.
all of us, but like for us, that's not a big deal. But like to some people, they can only afford one, and it's and I see the bright side of that, right? Like, imagine if you're on PS5 and you can play Gears of War, right? I said that would be super fun to play with you co-op. There you go, right there. If it's on PlayStation, then you can play them. Halo's another one, things like that. I don't think those are like
Halo on
Xbox's
PlayStation
biggest.
would be insane.
Yeah, that would be.
I've
I
seen
don't
people talking
know.
about that.
I don't know if that will ever happen, dude. I don't know. That's such a big franchise, man. I don't know. I don't know. What
Yeah,
do you
but
think?
I honestly I don't know. Like I'm not savvy enough, but I would say it would be a game changer. That would be like entering a new era, playing Halo. But then again, hear me out. This already happened. What if I told you this is history repeating itself? Today, when you think of Sonic, he's like a multi-system franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, back then, like if people could hear us say this, right, in the '90s, they would pretty much like hang us, right? They would like burn us to the fucking into a cross
Right.
because Sonic is a Sega exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, and Sega and Nintendo were like the big rivals back then, and
Mhm.
today Sonic is getting released on Nintendo. He's expected to come out on Nintendo first, almost, right?
Yeah.
Because of the target audience.
Right.
So what I think, what it is just we just gotta get with the times, dude. And about what you said, you asked, okay, so you can understand why people are upset because now they're asking, hey, what are you going to get an Xbox for? Well, I think that's good because now they actually need to, meaning Microsoft and Sony too, I'm not defending them, and like all of these console manufacturers have to give you a good reason to buy their console.
Mm-hmm.
Now they don't have like these exclusives to hide behind, right?
Yeah.
Now they have to try harder, make actually competent systems.
Yeah.
Maybe a PS5 that's actually as powerful, that actually can run games like they want them, like they
Mhm.
told us they could run them. See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This is good news to me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, the only thing it's like you have some of these people out here who are like kind of like hoping Xbox goes away. I don't want them to go away because
Why?
here's my thing. Like and you know this too because you're not a big PC player. I have a PC. It's okay,
Mhm.
but it's not anything high powered. But one good thing about the Series X, Series S, even the Xbox One, but let's go with the newer ones, you can play a lot of backwards compatible games on
Mhm.
the Xbox. Like, not to say you can't do it on PlayStation, but their library kind of sucks when it comes to older games. If you want to play older
Yeah.
games, it's more of like either streaming or it's not the best quality. You know what I mean? With Xbox, I mean, there's a huge library of 360 games
Yep.
that I never got around to when I was younger because I couldn't afford games because I was a child, so I can buy games. Like, I haven't played hardly any of the Tom Clancy games. I hear they're fantastic. I can play all of those on Xbox right now at 60 FPS. The quality, like the visual fidelity might not be great, but the like gameplay wise and how it runs, it'll be almost perfect. I mean, all you really need is 60 FPS. You know what I mean? Like 60 is like super smooth. But I think that's like the selling point of Xbox, right? It's Game Pass and backwards compatible. And then also too, they did announce that we got Gears E-Day coming. We have Perfect Dark. We have Stalker 2. Like there are games that I'm looking forward to, and Xbox is kind of making a little bit of that, I don't know if a comeback,
Mhm.
but they're doing better than they have been. But it does make you think, like, is all their success going to be fueled by them letting the games go to Sony as well, which is a good thing. Like for like people like you who don't have both of them, it's great. But at the same time, it's like, damn it, like the whole I don't know, like, to me, I'm still thinking about the games, you know what I mean? And if I know that I can play Stalker
Right.
2 on Xbox and I can't play it on PlayStation, it kind of makes me feel good, like, ooh, I got an Xbox, I can check this out, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely get that, dude. It completely makes sense, and I used to be like that too, right? When I first got my PS3, right? I first got it for Little Big Planet, but then I found out the Uncharted games, right? And that's when I was like, oh man, seeing that label, it's only on PlayStation label, you really think, oh shit, like I made the right choice, when I didn't get that at Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But again, it's an old way of thinking. I
Yeah.
think we can need to let it go. Just let
Yeah.
it go.
I agree.
Do you
Do you,
think
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
do you think I will be able to make games? Yeah, shitty ones. I mean,
Yeah.
games are. Let's not beat around the bush. They're a form of art, right? Whether you'll like to think that way or not, it's still there's a lot of thought that gets into it. And if you don't think about all the pretty pictures and the pretty sounds you hear while you play them, it's still level placement, level structure, all of that. It's
Hmm.
an AI can really only repeat patterns, and as for right now, not even in a very consistent and smart way. So yeah. So that's my answer. Yes, but it'll probably suck ass.
I think so. I think that, like, I don't. Yeah, AI will be able to make games, but yeah, it'll be trash. But there are games that are using AI though, which I think is pretty cool. Like, actually, one of our guests that we had on, the Arcane Pain, on his YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channel, he did there was a game, I forgot what it was. It's like one of these like cheaper PC games, and essentially you're playing as like a vampire, and what you have to do is
Oh.
is, oh, have you seen this video?
Yeah,
Like,
I know about that one. Yeah,
and
I never see his video, but I know about the game.
yeah, yeah. And so what you do is, you know how the whole thing is like for a vampire to come into your house, you have to get permission before you can walk through
Hmm.
the threshold. Well, in the
Yeah, just to get
game,
invited. Yeah.
you have to talk to this AI, and the AI will respond to whatever you say, and you got to tell it things that it'll like to let you in the house, and that's pretty neat. I do like that, you know.
Well, that's
So
different though. That's AI integration. That's
yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah,
Like I think what Axel was saying that can an AI by itself
yeah,
build a game from the ground up. I'm like, dude, it'll be terrible.
yeah. I'm sure. Yeah,
Just like the
like you
AI
said,
generated pictures, like you can tell at a glance that somebody made, like, not a person made that, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like I mean, I'm sure it'll do like as far as like aesthetically pleasing, it might look okay, but as far as like gameplay mechanics, things like that, yeah, I mean, no, no,
honestly, even
probably
like
not.
aesthetic, but yeah, it can get an aesthetic. You're right, but it's like it's only skin deep. As soon as you start looking a bit like beyond the surface, everything just crumbles, right?
Yeah,
You start seeing a bunch of fingers there shouldn't be, a bunch of colors where there shouldn't be.
yeah.
So,
So just to go back to what we were talking about as far as
mhm.
the exclusivity. So another thing that's going around right now is that Starfield. So obviously the game that everybody's pretty much forgotten about since after the first
Yeah,
couple weeks. I know I'm not
it's
trying to be like
terrible.
it's not a terrible game or anything. It's just it definitely didn't live up to the hype. But there's DLC coming out for it soon. I think it's called Shattered Space, and there's a rumor going around that like 4 to 5 months after that DLC drops, Starfield will be on PlayStation as well. So I guess what people are more worried about is just we're just going to get to a point where all of Xbox's biggest games, if they announce at their showcase, all are going to go to PlayStation. So it's just I don't know, like you say, I think this is the modern era, and I think we're just gonna have to, especially if you still want to play, you just gotta accept it. I'm not mad about it. Just I think I as well as most people who are watching this and everybody else who has concerns, I think it's just like you've gotten used to how things have been, and it's just not like that no more. All these, the Xbox, PlayStation, PC, you know, they're all great sources to play your games, and I think now they're just trying to make it like it's all about a money move, right? Because
Mhm.
somebody had made a good point that obviously in modern day, like it takes more money and resources to make a game now, and so like a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of these companies can't take that kind of loss because they've put like, let's just give a number. Let's just say they put $50 million into a game, and let's say the game doesn't sell that well. That's a big loss for that company. Look, I mean, look at uh, Suicide Squad, killed the Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's terrible. The gameplay is not bad. But look at all the stupid choices they've made as far as character designs, the story, the activities in the game. That game might kill Rocksteady. Rocksteady might not even be a like, and I'm not even joking.
They
Like,
already had layoffs, didn't they?
yeah, yes, major layoffs because of that. Because of that game. That game has fucked that company. Like that company might not even be here by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Definitely by the
Yeah.
end
And
of the
we were talking
fiscal
about
year.
Rocksteady. Like they're
Dude,
not just some nobodies.
I know. They were like, juggernauts at the time, right? They were right up there with Naughty Dog and Rockstar and all those guys. So like to now their company might be going under because they effed up that bad. Like,
One game.
yeah. So and that I heard somebody say this, and I think it's a good point. It said maybe it's because these games are so expensive. Like they're like, hey,
Mhm.
listen, we can't afford to have it releasing on one console, so let's just put it on all of them, and that way we get money from all sides. And if it fails, at least we won't be doing too bad. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. And this is happening everywhere. Like, we're talking a lot about Xbox games coming to PlayStation, but we've seen PlayStation games coming to PC, right? That's
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
major ones, even the very Sony branded ones. And some of them even get to Xbox. Wasn't there? It was like a sports game. I don't know. I don't like
yeah.
baseball or
I think it was
basketball,
yeah
something with
yeah.
balls.
It was it was baseball. It was MLB the Show. Yeah,
Yeah,
MLB
and
the
it was like
Show was a
crazy because
PlayStation. Yeah.
yeah, and you have like the. I remember at the time, there was a few years ago when this first came out. It was like the people were showing the Xbox cover, right? So the Xbox cover for the game with PlayStation Studios printed on it, Like it's really bizarre.
Yeah.
But this is where we're at. This is just what's up now.
Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of a question for future us if we make it that long. Are you guys planning to do anything special for your 100 episode podcast?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
yeah. I mean, we did a big episode for episode 50, and then actually, I got to give all the credit to Jan. I mean, he had mentioned that episode 50 being the end of season one. I think that's a great idea. So episode 100 would be the end of season two if we make it
For
that
sure.
far. So yeah, I mean,
Let's be
definitely.
optimistic.
Yeah, definitely. The only reason why I'm even doing that just how busy, obviously you go through seasons in your life. Just to get away from the
Mhm.
acquisition stuff and Xbox, PlayStation stuff for a second. You go through phases of your life, right? Like and you know how it is. If Axel, you've been coming and chatting with us for the past few episodes. We appreciate you talking to us and to the people who are watching after the fact and whatever. We've always tried to be kind of personal with you guys somewhat. We don't tell you everything. We try to be personal. I mean, I have a second job. My daughter was born 3 weeks ago yesterday, which is kind of crazy that she's 3 weeks old now. And, you know, because of the part-time job and then my full-time job and then being up with, like, I'm only running off of 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, I just think with everything going on, it's just gotten busier and busier and busier. And honestly, and Jan knows this because I've told him a million times. I feel like I've definitely put this show on the back burner, and I hate doing that. Like when I'm doing and Jan, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. When I'm doing something, I don't like half-assing it. I don't like half-assing something that, especially when it's something that I'm supposed to have passion for. You know what I mean? And, one thing that I thought we did a really good job of for a long time, and I still feel this way, but it's just been harder here lately, is that the show has always been like an escape. It's always been like fun. We might have a topic, we might
Mhm.
have a game that we're trying to play and maybe get pretty far in so we can talk about it, but it's always been fun. It's never felt like a second job. Well, it's just like with everything going on and my daughter and then the second job and then not getting much sleep and then working full time, only having one day off, it does start to feel that way. And so I have to figure out that, like for instance, like I don't think I told Jan this. I'm actually got a journal now that I write in a journal like every evening. Just kind of talking about, things going on, my thoughts and feelings, if anything particular happened that day. Um, and that's been really helping. And it's not because like I'm depressed or that, things are bad or anything. It's just I just feel like it's sometimes life in general. You just feel kind of like an elephant is sitting on your chest, and no matter what you do, you can't get the elephant to get off of you, no matter what, whether you kick and scream, poke it, whatever. And like that's how I've been feeling kind of here lately. It's like I'm happy, but it's like it's so much weight, and so. And I didn't mean to get in all this. I know your question, your question was more for the 100 episode, but that's one reason why I said I hope we make it there because it's so busy right now that I think we can, but it's just such a busy time that it's like, damn, dude, like 100 episodes. Well, like I said, what are we, episode 55? So 45 episodes. I mean, that's like, how long did it take us to get to like 50? It took us like what, 3 years, a little over 3 years?
2 years, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking like by 2026 or 27, we'll get to that point, if not a little bit earlier. So I don't know where we're going to be at by that point. But anyway, I know that was a long shtick, but I think we all go through different phases, and I'm hoping that we're around by episode 100. But it's just hard to breathe sometimes, man. It's very, very busy.
Oh, yeah, I know. No, it's good to talk about this stuff. Now, Dylan gave you the serious answer. Now I'm going to give you the fun and hopeful one. And which is yes, I think we can make it. I think that right now we are both of us going through a rough patch. I don't talk much about the personal life because I don't know. I don't feel like it honestly. It's just we on the cast, but we're going through a rough patch. Mine is nowhere near as rough as Dylan's, but still, I think I like to believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. that there is something we are working towards, and that maybe by 2 years it won't be worse than now, but it'll be better than now. And maybe not only will it be as good as before, maybe it'll be even better. Imagine, maybe, who knows? I'm just like being silly here, but like imagine, what if we up the ante? The 100th episode is the two of us, Dylan and I, live from the same room. How about that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll make
Yeah.
it work.
Yeah.
Like I travel there, you travel here, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think there's like a lot of fun things we could do.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, we got plenty of time to plan for it. I mean, and that's another thing too. Like we've been so busy that it's been even harder to plan for episodes. That's why I know you can't see the thumbnail right now, but when you do, the thumbnail has several different things. There's The Witcher, there's The Boys, there's Silent Hill, there's GTA. Like there's so many. Oh, and then I think the main picture is the DualSense controller for Astrobot, like which I'm getting, by the way, September 4th. And I'm not even into Astrobot. I just think the controller looks awesome. It might be fit. Yeah, it might be fit. But
yeah, the game is on the 5th. I don't know when the controller comes out.
The controller looks sick. Like and like it's like, well, damn, like that's what I'm saying. Like I think the passion and everything like that, just to talk about gaming and I think one of the things I wanted to do when I first started this podcast was like, because I was watching a group of guys do what we're doing right now, where they were just kind of sitting there, where they lived in different states, which I mean, for us is different countries, but they were living in different states and, just being able to chat about games. And then they talked about like life stuff. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, I like the life stuff more than I like the gaming stuff, because it's like, I've realized, dude, it's getting harder and harder to talk about video games, not because there's not much to talk about. I sent you a video yesterday of excitement for a new RPG with the guy from that plays Clive in Final Fantasy 16, the English actor anyway. And I was like, this looks sick. And there's a lot of games coming out. I mean, the Witcher remake is coming out, Witcher 1 remake, and then Witcher 4 will come out in a few years. Like that's one reason why I'm into The Witcher right now, because I'm hyped because there's things to look forward to, but it's just you don't have the time. How the hell are we supposed to play any of these games?
I don't fake it till you make it, dude. Like I really don't know what to say to that.
And it's like, and then you don't want to rush through the games either, right? Like with Silent Hill 2, like I want to take my time walking down a spooky hallway. I want to take my time looting different things, trying to find ammo, resources, things like that. That's how I like playing. Yeah, Craig. I mean, but that's what I like to, especially games like that. Like I play very, very slow, especially on my first playthrough in games like this. I play slow because you don't know what's coming around every corner. You might know because I know you played the original, but I don't know. So it's going to be super fun to kind of to go through it. I don't want to rush through that. Oh man, I got an episode of the podcast we got to do, so I got to try to I hate doing that. I hate playing games like that.
Of course.
So anyway, I didn't mean to get into all that, but that's how I want things to be here. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's other things that I have not mentioned, and I think that's okay. I think that's all right to not, kiss and tell like everything, but that's the majority of the things that I've been personally dealing with. Is just time. But I'm hoping, and one of my New Year's resolutions was going to be, and I know I got a little while, so I'm going to try to work on this beforehand, is just trying to learn balance. Balance going back to school, balance taking care of my daughter, balance going to work, juggling a second job, playing some games if I can, doing the podcast. And it's just, when I think about that, I get stressed out. And I don't like getting stressed out about things that I enjoy doing. Does that make sense? I know that's kind of rambling, but that's how I'm feeling about it. I don't like being stressed about things I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, of course. I mean, that just ruins it, right? Because you're so focused on trying to enjoy what you're supposed to enjoy that it ruins it. It's I completely get that. It's mostly, it's kind of this, I'm kind of an overthinker, so I'm gonna have that problem kind of constantly. But when you're stressed, you also get into the kind of mindset when you think, okay, this is it, and I'm supposed to be relaxing, right? But if you think that, that's never gonna help.
Yeah.
So no, dude, it's a tricky mindscape to fall into.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny too because I'll tell you a funny story that happened the other night. I was
Well, let's get a funny story.
yeah, I was so you remember like I told you guys, I took all like I had worked like 8 days straight, and I woke up the next morning and I'm like, and I'm just being honest, I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Like I could feel like tears because I've been working so much, and you gotta remember like I just came off a 2 week hiatus where I've been with my daughter and my wife like every day, helping out with the baby and things like that. So going back to work was kind of hard for me. And of course, the first week or two that I'm there, I have to work, several days straight. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't help. So I'm already having withdrawals from my daughter and being home and things like that. And then having to go back to work sucks. So anyway, the day that I took off that morning, I was like, bro, I cannot do this. I can't drive an hour away. I can't deal with work. I'm just going to have to call out. I just got to. So I did it. Well, anyway, so I spent the whole day. I played The Witcher 3 for like 6 hours, like in between taking care of my daughter, So I took care of my daughter. And then I was playing The Witcher 3. I held her for a little bit while I played The Witcher. And it was just a good day. Well, anyway, about after like the 6th hour, me and the wife and my little girl, we went out to like the store and a couple other things. We come back to the house and I go to sit back down in my chair. Actually, this chair I'm sitting in now, I go back and forth until where the big screen is, where my consoles are at. And I sat down and I was like, oh, I'm just going to play like some UFC or something, just something like that. I can just take my mind off, play a couple matches, blah, blah, just unwinding. And the wife came in and she was like, oh man, so she said, this is how she said it. She was like, there's a lot of dishes in the sink. And I was like, yeah, it's a good bit of dishes. And then I just kept playing the game. And then she made another comment, like I was still playing, and she went to sit down on the couch. She's like, this is the first time I've sat down since we got back to the house. I'm like, yeah, back first time. And then I went back to playing. Like I just completely was oblivious to it. So then the next day I go to work and I tell her good morning when I got to work, and she told me good morning back, and asking how Freya's doing and things like that. Well, anyway, she said she was like, I was trying to give you signals last night, and I was like, what signals? To go wash the dishes. I'm like, wash the dishes? Why don't you just ask me to wash the dishes? Why are you giving me signals? And I knew damn well subconsciously they were signals. Yeah. I just didn't want to do shit. You know what I mean? Like I just
didn't. I was like, bro, I get that.
Like I'm off. Like, and it wasn't like, Jan, I don't like dishes stacked up in my sink, right? Like if they're like coming out the top of the sink, I'll wash them. But like it wasn't that much. I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. But apparently the wife was trying to give me a signal to be like, get your lazy ass up and go wash the dishes. And I was like, not taking the bait.
Oh man, it's one of these that I'm so glad to have a dishwasher, because without that, I don't know what would happen to my house. I think it would be like anarchy in the streets. There'd be like a huge feud between me and my roommate if we didn't have the dishwasher to act like a sort of a catalyst.
Yeah,
but no, I get that.
It is nice. I mean, we got a dishwasher too, but I still I try to rinse the plates off before I put them in the dishwasher. Like I try to rinse them off and then put them in.
Yeah.
And but
that's like the issue.
But she was like, she was sending me signals. I'm like, all right, well listen, next time just tell me you want me to do it and I'll get up and go do it. But it was just funny because we didn't fight about it. But I'm like, just tell me what you want and I'll go do it.
You know what? But I'm on your side, because when you're that tired, as you are, like mind games won't work. Like the only thing that's gonna get your ass up there is act like an order, right? Just
right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I was like subconsciously, I knew that she wanted me to go do it, but it was like, unless you tell me to go do it, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
down. I
man.
was down. I was down bad that day. Like I was in a good mood. I was happy to be off, but I was like, fuck this.
I
I'm not
gotcha.
cutting. I'm not cutting the grass. I'm not washing clothes. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm supposed to play The Witcher and wipe my daughter's ass when she takes a dump, and then that's it. which
Well,
man, which man, she had a. I know we're kind of like jumping all over the place, but
no, I want to hear this.
she had a major, maybe it's gross. And this is a gross. She had a
It's again.
major shit explosion like 2 days ago. And it was, dude, it was one of the worst things I have ever smelled and seen in my entire. It was so bad. I was like, how is this much shit coming out of someone so small? Like, it was crazy. And she just, and the whole time my daughter's just looking at me. She's not even reacting or anything. Like, she is sitting there, and
Man.
and the whole time I'm cleaning her up, and I'm kind of like, you are disgusting, you little stinking bastard. And she's just looking at me like she's not even like reacting. It's like, she's so damn cute. It's like, whatever. I can deal with it. But man,
You
and
forgive it.
yeah, but the audacity of it was that we had this nurse at the hospital, and like, listen, God bless this lady. I don't wish nothing bad on her family, but fuck her, dude. You know what something she said? She
What'd
said
you
so my daughter is she's being fed with breast milk. So she's being a breast
Of
milk
course.
fed baby.
Right? Yeah.
And the nurse said that when babies breastfeed, their poops don't stink. I was like, they don't stink, huh? She's like, yeah, actually, matter of fact, I love the smell of a baby's poop that's breastfed. I'm like, what? And I whatever. I just kind of let it go because she's a nurse. She knows what she's talking about. Yeah, F her, dude. That shit smelled so rancid.
What?
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
That's the weirdest tactic to get someone to breastfeed. That's the what?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, 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 no.
She's on my damn hit list, man.
No, she did you dirty. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
the last time I heard, that I felt that smell. I think that's when my brother was in diapers, and I was 5 back then, and I still remember it distinctly. There's like a wedge in my brain
Yeah.
that dedicated to like that experience. So
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get it. Yeah, you like it's like you say, like I can still smell it. You know what I mean? And it was like, and you know what the worst thing about it was? So not only did she have a blowout, I mean, it was going up her back, and
oh
my
my god.
dude, my daughter is very fidgety, so like she's kicking her legs the entire time. So guess what? She's getting shit all up on her legs and her feet and everything. So like so immediately we had to go give her a bath. And I haven't correctly figured out how to give a baby a bath yet, so it looks very unorthodox. Like I don't know what's the correct. Yeah, like we have like a little a seat for her to sit in, like in the bathtub.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
like that part's not too hard. Like you just strip her down. Obviously, she got to be naked. You put her in the thing, and then you put a little bit of water in her little seat, and then you soap her up. You rinse her off, but then you got to flip her over. And I can never figure out the best way to do this. So what I do is I hold her up kind of like this, and she's, with her ass up
And
in the
just dunk
air.
her.
And, well, yeah, that, but then I have to get the wife on the other side to like scrub her on, like, I have to hold the baby up like this, and then she's scrubbing her from that way. And
Man.
then my daughter hates it, so she's screaming bloody murder. She's like, ah, ah! Like, so
It's like
right.
straight up, Achilles, right? Like you might as well be holding her by her toe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but she's beautiful though. She's great. But yeah, but no, but
She has a beautiful name too. I haven't complimented you.
oh yeah.
yet,
Yeah, I
like,
know. I was trying to keep that I was trying to keep a lid on it for as long as I could about her name. And then my wife could not keep her mouth shut. So before you know it, everybody knew her name well before she was born. But I've always loved that name, Freya, right? I've loved Norse mythology for years, but obviously I didn't really start hearing it till God of War. And I told the wife about it, and honestly, she didn't even like the name at first. She was like, I don't know if I like that name too much. But then, like, I think it started growing on her, and I think it's a beautiful name, man. Freya Noel, man. She's a It's a strong
agree.
name. It's strong. It's beautiful, and it's different too. You don't hear it. Like I don't know how
Oh,
it is. I don't know how it is where you're at. I'd be curious to hear what you say here. But like where I'm from, everybody's named the same damn thing. Like I went to school with like 15 Dylans. Like nobody has any kind of creativeness. Like how is it where you were at? Like in school, did you have anybody who was like named after you, or like a bunch of
um,
like the
well,
same
my
name?
name, at least over here in ex-Yugoslavia, is not as common. There were like two other Jans in school. I remember. Uh, it's more. I think it's more like Polish or something. But there were definitely a lot of Marcos. Man, Marcos up the ass. I think it's just. I mean, it's just a regional thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just some places. I think they're like most people. NPCs as we gamers like to call
Yeah.
them. They just call. They're just getting so infatuated with like the most generic, most common names ever. With Marco, I can get behind. It's a pretty cool name, even though it's
Mhm.
super overused. But yeah, if fucking let me think. What's a super common name?
I don't know about over there, but I hear like over here, I hear the name. Dylan's one of them. I hear that one a lot. I
Uh,
hear, I hear another one a lot. Brantley for a guy, and another one is like
Brantley.
Brantley. It's terrible. It's a
The
terrible name.
fuck is that?
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's fucking sucks. But there's so many Brantleys around here, and then I think another one like as far as like female is like Brittany, and what's
Not as
another one?
bad.
I'm trying to think what another one. Oh, like Jessica, things like that. Catherine is
Jessica.
another one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like that's the types of names that I hear around here a lot.
yeah. I mean, okay. Just okay. Ooh, you know what I have here? We have Ivan. Ivan is very common. Very Russian. I'm actually looking at a list, most common names. Which ones am I familiar with? There's Marco. Oh yeah, for a girl, Anna. So many Annas, you have no idea. Uh, yeah, fucking Josip. Dude, it's insane. If you're in Italy, you have a bunch of Lucas. Lucas up the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Francesco's up the ass. For girls, Julia's up the ass. It's
Yeah.
personally, I just yeah, like I'm at the point where when eventually, if it ever happens, right? If I ever procreate, I'm thinking she or he, whatever, don't have to. I don't want to be. I don't want to be different for the sake of being different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to give the name a fucking I don't know like a stupid like I don't want to call him fucking Naruto or whatever.
Oh
I don't want to, yeah, I don't
yeah.
want to be a weeb like that. But because Freya is perfect, I think, right? Because it's not too nerdy. It's nerdy just enough, but
Just
also
enough.
it can be integrated. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's a
I
beautiful name, and it fits her. And honestly, I don't even right now. I'm not even calling her by her legal name. I'm calling her she has a bad case of the hiccups. Like she has
uh
hiccups like all the time. It's
okay.
nothing bad. You'll just hear her in her bassinet like like hiccups, and she used to do it all the time when she was in mom's belly as well. When she was in her mom's belly, my wife could feel every time Freya was having hiccups. So I just started calling her Hiccup for her nickname. So now
That's cute.
when I talk to her, I'll be like, "What's Hiccup doing?" And just I'll be holding her one day, and she's laying on my chest, and then it's like, what is
And
up
there
with
it
you?
is.
Always got hiccups, but yeah, she's beautiful, man. And I think I know you're kind of in a spot, right now where it's like that's probably like last thing on your mind. But I was really, really worried about having kids. I knew that I'll eventually want and everything, but it definitely feels natural to you when as soon as he or she is born, it's almost like it's a natural instinct to take care of your little ones, man, and you realize just how much you can love something, right? I think we had talked about before about like conditional and unconditional love, and like with
Hmm.
kids, it's completely unconditional. Like it does not matter what they do, what lifestyle choices they have. Even if you don't agree with it, you'll never like stop loving your kids. And you don't really realize that till you have your own. And even with her so small, she's already got so much personality. Like I had a pretty lengthy beard in the hospital when she was born. It was like probably like out to here. It wasn't like super long.
Okay.
So she was used to seeing me with a beard. But anyway, like 2 days before I had to go back to work, I just shaved it all off. And I was holding her in my arms and I gave her a bottle. And so after she was done with the bottle, I took it out of her mouth. I wiped her mouth and burped her. And she was just looking up at me. And I could tell she was looking at me, kind of had her eyes squinted. Like I think I know this guy, but I don't know for sure. Well, the cutest thing was she stuck her hand up and she didn't want to touch my face with like the palm of her hand. So she used the back of her hand and she just ran her hand down my face like this.
No
and
way.
then, yeah, she did. It was one of the coolest things. Like she just ran her hand down my face. And then she was just kind of like looked up at me, and then she fell asleep. Like she kind of needed validation to know that. Oh yeah, I know who he is. And then she went to sleep. And I thought I was like the cutest and coolest thing ever because she's already so perceptive. And she's, I mean, at the time she was only like a week, like not even a week old, and now she's 3 weeks old. So you can only imagine like how much more, in tune with her surroundings and everything like that. But but anyway, but I know we kind of got off on a tangent and everything like that. But I like to take the time every now and then on an episode to talk about just real world stuff. And honestly, with everything going on, taking care of her has been kind of a highlight of my life, really. I think it's everything else, man. I hate working so much. Like I don't want to go to work.
We got in there.
I hate working, dude. I can't stand it. Look, I'm a hard worker. I go to work. I work for my family. I was talking to Jan personally, like, I'm putting myself through this much because I love my family so much and I want things, and I realize that one income is not going to get it done anymore. But like, I hate this shit. I can't stand working. I feel least like myself when I work. I have no time for anything else. I really am working hard that by the time I'm in my late 30s, early 40s, I don't have to work as hard because this shit sucks. I hate working.
I mean, you're definitely pushing yourself like really hard right now. I mean, 2 jobs, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, it's garbage because I mean, like, and I had to pick up on a day that we usually do the podcast. I mean, like, good day, Jan. I can hear all the traffic going.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's I could close the window, but this supposed to be a furnace.
No, it's okay. No, it's just like that was a loud ass truck or whatever the hell that was. But like
it was a motorcycle.
Was it?
Some guy, some biker, just wanna destroy his stuff.
No, it's just one of those things. Like I said, that's one thing I've been struggling with too. Is just like going to work every day just sucks. I'd rather be at home, and I wish I could be, but that's what kills you. Is like now with this second job, I'm away like 15, 16 hours, and then like I'm home late. So
Oh, there we go.
Run for office, make your own money legally, do insider trading.
I mean, have we fished what do they call it, crypto bros or whatever?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not getting into that, but yeah, no, I mean, look, the sky's the limit. I mean, I started my degree years ago, and I switched majors, and then I had to take a break for a little while. So I'm kind of just picking up where I left off, but I'm also kind of starting over at the same time because I just feel so out of whack. So, and it's a decision I'm making. I want to go into law. I think going into practicing law is what I want to do. Because I feel like I can do it. But of course that can change, and I don't know what my life's going to look like in 5-10 years. So
you could run for mayor.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
President?
I'm not doing all that. What are you talking about?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever do anything.
They're letting anyone on there, so from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it has gotten pretty bad. I mean, don't wrong. Like, is there a possibility? Of course, but I mean, dude, no way. I want to be a
Overcome.
crime lord. So Congress it is.
Congress it is. Go to the comments right there.
Yeah, that's all. Here, I'll star that one. That's a good one. Um, Yeah, no, I've thought about that. I actually asked the wife that one time, like after we finished watching Breaking Bad. I was like, "How would you
Uh-huh.
feel? Like, how? Like, I'm just like personally, how would you feel if I was Walter White and I could go to work like a net regular, like 9 to 5? I'd make my own shift, go in, cook meth, make how much I need, and then go home. Like, I know it's illegal, but would you turn me in as long as I was bringing money in for the family?" And she was acting like she'd kind of be like my ride or die, man. So, I mean, who knows?
Oh
Maybe a Walter
man,
White.
dude. If you're Walter White, am I Jesse? Am I Jesse Pinkman?
Am I Jesse?
Jesse, is your wife gonna go up to me and go say, I don't know, I'm Miss Spike, yo?
I'm Miss White. Yeah. Hey, you've seen Breaking Bad all the way through?
I've seen the memes.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I tend to watch that show too. I'm getting to the end of The Boys. Breaking Bad is somewhere after that. I'm
good.
terrible with shows. I'm almost as terrible with shows as you are with games. So be patient with me, please.
I'm terrible at both, man. These guys at work, they especially my boss. I've known him for years. He watches like I think I've told you this, like 5 or 6 different shows at the same time. He can keep up with all the storylines and
Wow.
stuff. And I just can't. I can't do it, man. He'll be like, "Oh, did you watch a new episode of this?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I definitely did not." I'm nowhere near where you're at, man. He's watching like 4 or 5 different animes and then watching like 2 or 3 like live action shows. And it's like, dude, Big Pharma is the real crux.
Okay, ignorant question. What's a big pharma?
So,
Pharmaceutical?
so Big Pharma, I want to say, is that like, yeah, I think it is like pharmaceutical, isn't it? Let me see.
You're real quick. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Conspiracy theories, pharmaceutical
oh no,
industry.
your English is fine. We're just ignorant. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can extend my distrust for doctors to pharmaceutical companies. I believe. I think that's still like under my my character.
Mm. Yeah. No, I think yeah. I mean, dude, Big Pharma is it is like the pharmaceutical thing. Like for instance, like my wife, I think I've talked about it on the show. She has an AVM, which is like it's a neural thing that essentially it slows down her motor process. So sometimes like I think it's her left side, maybe it's like her left hand is like slower than the other. So like for instance, like me and you can do this easily, no problem. For her, it might be more of like a slower kind of close of her fist. She also has a drop foot because of it. So on her left side, her foot kind of drags behind the other. So she has to wear, like if we go walking or whatever, she wears a brace. But I say all that to say, I'm not to be a pity party. She's doing fine. It's all you can live with it your entire life. You're good. It's not like she's in any real danger, but just the medical bills alone for just getting checkups and just things like that. I mean, you're talking thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I have good insurance, so it does cover a good bit of it. But you should see my fridge right now, man. We got probably about 20 bills up on the fridge, and it's like, bro, I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to afford between the baby, between just prescriptions, and then going to, and in order for her to go get checked out for the AVM, she's got to go to a pretty big like hospital. It's like one of the biggest hospitals in the country, and yeah, I mean, you're talking these medical bills are ridiculous, man. It's really bad. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, Big Pharma is the real crooks, man, for real.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Yeah, fuck them real bad. But yeah,
what we're talking about.
We were talking about just working and stuff. I'm just kind of I'm done. I'm done with working. I'm gonna keep doing it, but I just feel like I've become like I have to, but like I just feel like a shell, man. Like I feel the best when I'm at home,
Yeah, I mean, they say find a work you love or something like that.
Yeah.
I have to get there too, but
Yeah. But
games.
anyway, we've been talking. Yeah, we've been talking a lot of real world stuff. So, to get back to the games, man. There's been a lot. There's a lot of announcements. There's a lot of things coming out this year. Me and Jan were actually talking about. We are actually thinking about certain games that we're going to look out for the rest of the year. Where we're going to do episodes on. I think we've narrowed it down to. I think we're definitely going to focus heavily on Silent Hill 2. And I believe also, I think I got Jan to agree on it, so he can confirm it here. Maybe Assassin's Creed Shadows, give that a
I
look
am
at.
playing it. No, dude. I mean, you know what? Something like to I can accept it as long as it's not, Odyssey or Origins levels of tediousness when they just, when they level cap certain missions where they have to fucking do a bunch of little side quests. As long as it's not that, I can definitely give it a try, like an honest try, without even thinking, oh man, this game's gonna suck. No. I wanna be proven wrong. Remember how it's always hard and need you in the driving window. Well,
I would hate my life even more than that if I did that
yeah,
shit.
you can always sink deeper. No, you're right. I'm playing Once Human. I like the reset season.
I don't know what that
Remind me
means.
what Once Human is.
Playing Once Human. I like the reset season. Once
I think
Human.
Once Human is a game. Once Human is a game.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yes.
Oh shit! It is a game.
And I'm guessing the new season is a reset season.
Oh, okay. See, I'm so far out the loop, bro. I didn't even know what the hell it was. This was kind of cool.
That's all I know. Yeah, you get to survive in the wilderness, and
oh shit! Yeah, that looks kind of cool.
yeah, we're not too much into these. Is this multiplayer? It looks like multiplayer.
Oh, is it like
an MMO?
Is it like an MMO kind of thing?
It's definitely free to play. Yeah, I mean, Polar Knights, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to give us more information about that because, oh, you know what it looks like? It looks like one of those survival games, a la, and you can build shit, get weapons.
like DayZ almost, kind of like
DayZ meets Fortnite Save the World, horror MMO. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, now that looking at it, it does look pretty cool. Yeah, Jan and I don't really play too many games like that. I know you kind of joined in a little bit late. I was talking about I've been playing The Witcher 3. Jan's been playing GTA Vice City. So we kind of
I've been playing through all the GTAs.
Yeah.
I decided before this is my challenge. This is my challenge to myself. Before GTA 6 drops, I want to play and platinum all the GTAs on modern platforms. So San Andreas, Vice City, 3, 5, 4, if they, give us the decency of porting it.
Please, Rockstar.
I want to be asked by my cousin or whoever to go to bowling a bunch of times. I need that experience in my life.
Yeah. Nico, come have dinner with your cousin. No, not right now. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
In San Andreas, you have the same shit. You have the guy who's your sister's boyfriend, who's like, what do you say? Since I got a wife, what's the thing when we're playing games? Oh, right, nice, good one.
Nice,
good one.
nice.
I almost never heard that before. I remember when I don't know, you probably had this too, but like the best joke on the block was, saying, oh man, the girl I was with yesterday, she said she was into role playing. And I told her, to toss a dice or something, to cast fire. That was like the funniest shit ever.
Yeah. Well, it's like him, since I got a wife, I've mostly been playing role playing games. Yeah. I mean, just going off, I know Jan just read that comment. I'm sorry. I'm juggling two things at the moment. That sounds like some big wiener energy, man. That sounds like some big wiener energy.
Does it?
That sounds
probably.
Like it. So he role plays, like they do like cops and robbers in the bed and things like that.
Yeah, and they're probably even maybe jailer and jailee.
Yeah, hide the rainbow road. You know what I mean?
I haven't heard that one. Yeah, no, I mean I'm into role play as well. I'm into the I don't know how to follow up for this. I'm
Well, go,
improvising.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I can make
improvise.
I can make it work. I can make it work. What's my favorite role? How can I make this like not too explicit? I'm into like what are you into, Dylan? You know, why don't you help me out here?
Well, honestly, no, if we're gonna have this conversation, I can have
Yeah,
it without being
yeah,
too
come on.
like without being too tongue in
Yeah,
cheek.
exactly.
I'm not. So honestly, I'm not into role playing at all. I'm not.
Mm.
There was this one time, and I gotta kind of be careful with what I say, but there was no seriously, it's funny. It is a funny situation.
I'm
There was
already
this,
laughing.
there was this one time where someone had put on a mask in the bedroom,
Hmm.
and I wasn't expecting it. Like I was just kind of went to the bathroom. I come back into my room, and she's wearing a mask. And as soon as it wasn't like a monkey
What kind of
mask or
mask
anything.
was it?
It was kind of like it kind of had it looked more like a cowl almost. Like kind of had like that same
Okay,
like kind of like
like
a maybe not Batman, but it kind of had like that same like where it had the eyes and it kind
one
of
of
had the
those.
nose.
What are they called? The ones that like the trackers, that mountain trackers wear. What also robbers wear. You know the.
Oh, not that. No.
Okay, no.
It looks like a cowl almost. It kind of has like a
Okay,
where it has the eyes and the nose, but then the mouth and everything's kind of exposed. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
Kind of
okay,
like
okay. Yeah,
Batman.
I get that. I get it.
So
Okay, kind
she
of
was
Venetian. Okay.
so yeah. So anyway, you know, and obviously she was wearing an outfit that had the mask, and I come into my room, and as soon as I saw it, I lost it. I started laughing like
Oh
hysterically
man. Oh no.
because it looks so silly to me. It just
Right.
it's not even the fact that it looked bad per se. It was just the fact that it caught me off guard, and I started laughing hysterically, kind of ruined the moment. Ever
I
since
bet.
then, I haven't really been into that at all. So I know he's probably mostly joking, but yeah, I'm not really
Yeah,
into that to
no,
be
I
honest with
mean,
you.
you know what?
I've never been into that ever. Like even
I have
before the
a
wife.
I have a confession to make. I'm also not really into that. You know, we're being vanilla as hell here, but and I used to have an ex-girlfriend who was into that. I mean, not too, no, she wasn't crazy about it, but she did have ideas, right? She
Mhm.
did have, certain scenarios she wanted to explore, and I think we only enacted them like once or twice, and I was never too much into it.
Did you use
There was
voices?
like
Did you do any
no,
voices?
no.
If you
It was
do that
most
shit,
no, it was mostly her dressing up as
oh, okay.
various. Yeah, I mean, okay, so exposing myself a little bit here. I am kind of into her being kind of in a position of power, not very a mistress kind of thing. No.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's more
yeah,
so I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like the
yeah.
power play. I just like her kind of having some stance.
Oh, got dominance a little bit. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
like
yeah, just so
domination. I
just
got you.
just spice it up a little bit, right? And but I think I'm where you're at, where it's just when you're dressing up, it's just kind of silly. I don't like mixing it in the bedroom. I mean, I've been like a drama kid. I've been to like acting classes. I can get into that, but when it's in the bedroom, it's just silly. I'm like you try to get into it, you're like I don't know. It's like as if it's like let's say like a nurse thing, right? And she's like, "Oh man, yeah, sir, you gotta do this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "Oh yes, please take care." You know what? I can't.
Yeah,
That's right.
I just can't.
Yeah, can't you just like
Yeah.
can't you just like eat you out or something? I mean,
Okay. Yeah,
just-
dude, same. I no, I agree. Again, there's all different
no
types of
judge, no
kinks out
judgment,
there.
of
Yeah,
course.
no doubt about it. But yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's like, can we like anything else? Like, I mean, not everything, but
uh,
well,
uh.
not everything.
Like
But
how far would you go, Dylan? What's the
there's just things I will not do, and I'll just keep it at that. How about that?
all right. You know what? Since you're here, right? Since you're here, I remember once. I know this is a funny story. I once had the whole mommy thing, right?
The whole mommy thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like daddy, but like with a
Oh yeah,
gender
yeah.
reverse, right? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Mommy, sorry, or something like that. I did give it a go. I gave it an honest shot with more than one partner. Yes,
Mm.
and you know what? I didn't hate it, but it's again, it just gets
So
it gets stale real quick. Gets
what's the
old real quick.
like what's the context? Like, would you is that like during, or is that like just like in general? Like you're like
No, just
is she calling you daddy? Like it's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
no,
Like
I know I cannot be called daddy, dude.
yeah, I
I
can't do that
cannot.
either. It's so.
I I mostly guys besides the whole like dad thing, right? Which is
Mhm.
a dimension of weird on its own. Like I'm really not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like just role wise, just vibe wise. I'm just not the kind of guy who likes to just order around your partner, right? Which I know is like hot for some people. I can't do that. Like
Yeah.
I'm too much of a got golden retriever energy. I just can't go like, oh yeah, be a good girl and do this, that, and the other.
I know it's
Like,
so weird. Like, and I'm like that too. Like, honestly, like, dude, like they try to. Some people can do it. Some couples, I'm sure, can do it. But
mhm.
I have
Oh
been
yeah,
one of those. The less said during situations like that, the
oh yeah,
better. Like when you start, like sometimes it can be kind of like a turn on, right? When you start like
hmm
kind of talking a little bit, like when especially when you know that she's having a good time, and then when
hmm
you're having a good time,
hmm
it's okay a little bit of talking there. But then when it gets to the point where it's like mommy, daddy, shit like that. Like it's like, yeah, you're killing it. I mean, I don't even want to do it anymore, and then I can't perform at peak performance anymore. Like it's
pretty much, right? Yeah, no,
and it,
it's yeah.
so.
And while we're at it, this
Golly,
I'm not speaking. I mean, we can stop if you
no,
want. I
no,
just
no, no. But what's funny is, it's like we were talking about real world stuff for like a little while, and you're like, all right. So anyway, back to games, and then we talked about games for like 30
we're
seconds,
playing
and
our
you're like,
role playing games.
yeah. So hey, while we're at it, go ahead. No, you had a thought. Go ahead. That's fine.
No, okay, so it's not. I'm not speaking from personal experience. This is secondhand information. But I have a friend who and she's also really like kind of like she said, and mostly like I think I'm in that of that mind too, which is like some talking here and there. It's nice, it's kinky, it's whatever. But mostly, the less said, the better. She once was this one guy who just would not shut up, and not only that, but he also pretended he wanted her to speak as well. She's like, he goes, oh yeah, tell me that, I don't know, tell me that you're my bitch or whatever, that you're my dirty whore. I cannot do it.
It's
You would not, like, you could not pay me to say that shit.
dude.
Like,
I mean, I don't even like that. I don't even feel like how is that even sexy? Like, I don't even understand. Like, the new Stargate movie. I don't.
I think
Is
he's
it?
messing with us.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either. I think he's probably trolling a little bit. Let's see Stargate. Let's just see what the hell Stargate. Because this I'm seeing something from 1994. Hold on.
Yeah, Stargate is an older flick.
This movie is expected to be a reboot of the franchise and may star Chris Evans and Rami Malek. Oh yeah, that's a. I mean, if that's true, I mean that's a good casting.
Yeah, remake movies are always good.
Oh
So,
yeah, always good, dude. Dude, like, and I'm not even trying to start this conversation. And by the way, like, we're gonna have to wrap this up here shortly. My baby's crying, and I gotta go in there and help.
sure.
But
No problem.
But no, but we got a few minutes. I'll bring this up as like one of the last little segments, and then if you got something else, I mean, do you got anything else to add to this sex talk? Because this has been very, a
I
very
mean, we can
intuitive
dedicate an episode to that. We can like,
Call it Orange's Sexcapades.
ooh, that's good. That's a good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty. I'll just sit here and listen, and I'll just make comments the whole time. So the last thing I'll bring up is I saw today. So like, obviously, this conversation can get a little. I don't. What's the best word I'm looking for? People can get offended by this conversation, and it doesn't need to be. It's all differences of opinion. We're talking about reboots and remakes, and it made me think of the new Snow White remake / reboot that they're doing, live action version of. Have you seen anything about that?
No, but like from the way you introduced that, I'm guessing that she's like black or something.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not. No, she's not black. And honestly, if she was, well, no. I mean, I guess Snow White
Well, it
wasn't
would be
black,
funny,
but
Snow White,
and
right?
she's black. Jan, you better watch out. We're gonna get canceled, bro. You know the movie where those hobbits travel in the Stargate looking for that one ring to unite the planet of Hogwarts again. Shut the. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I
buddy.
know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great
nice
movie.
one, Jim Halpert.
Yeah. You know what the other movie is good is go fuck yourself because you're bringing up topics that are not real. But anyway, if you look more
He
into
doesn't
it,
mean it. He doesn't mean it. Thank you.
yeah, I don't mean it. I know you're just trolling. One of the reasons why I bring it up is because so obviously we know the story of Snow White, right? We know that she was I don't know what you call like
What was she?
like in the original Snow White, right? Like
She's a
was she like
princess,
well yeah, but she is a princess, but she's in rags, she's like cleaning the castle, things like that. She works for the queen.
That's Cinderella. Snow White. No.
Yeah. So yeah, Cinderella too, but like the story starts out with her being like she's like wearing like dirty rags and she's like cleaning the castle, things like that. Anyway,
Okay.
the evil queen gets jealous of her because Snow White is very beautiful, and so
She's
the
the fairest
queen,
of them all.
correct, and so the queen is beautiful too, but she's also getting old, and so she talks to her mirror, blah blah blah. Who's the fairest one of them all? Says the Snow White. So the evil queen wants her killed. You know, we know the whole story. So anyway, Snow White ends up meeting the seven dwarves, and obviously we know, you know, they're dwarf. They're dwarven people. They live in this cottage, and with the help of some furry friends, Snow White helps kind of clean their home, you know, because they've been working in the
Right.
mine all day and everything. Well, anyway, they're kind of making some changes in the movie. They're making some changes like apparently Snow White doesn't meet a prince. Like she doesn't need a prince, apparently. So that's not even there.
Well,
And the other thing is it's like when she gets to the seven dwarves, she meets them. They instead of using, and this is the part that could be controversial, but I actually heard actual like a person mention this was like they didn't even use like actual like people of that community for the seven dwarves, you know, because there's actually people
like
out
little
there
people.
there actually are people out there who and actors and actresses, well, actors seven, they're men in the original. There actually are like little people out there you could use for those roles. Instead, for the film, they're CGI dwarves, and it looks really really weird, and it looks kind of awkward. And the switch is that Snow White makes the seven dwarves clean the house. Like it's like she's kind of like establishing dominance, like clean your own damn house, which is kind of funny in of
She's
itself.
being a mom.
Yeah, but instead
Making
of
them
her,
clean the room.
yeah, but instead of her like getting the animals to help her clean it, she's making them do it. And so like, but those are just small things that they're doing. They're kind of like they're taking the original story and kind of and something Disney's been doing for a while. Did the same thing with Aladdin where they took the original story and then added some nuances in there to try to be like more politically correct. You know?
You know what? I just want to say about that movie, the funniest shit ever is basically all they did, right? They gave Jasmine a song about her, not being, about her, just being what did she say?
I will
Like
not
she
be
won't
silent.
be
I won't be
she won't
silent.
be silent. Yeah, she won't be silent, right?
Yeah.
She sings that whole song, and not 5 minutes later, she gets kidnapped. She's like, "Aladdin, help me!" It's
That is that is true. Yeah, she's like acting like she don't need need anybody, and then help all of a sudden, like now she's the damsel. Like, but anyway,
yeah,
I
because
bring
that's
that.
the problem, right? It's no. I just want to say, it's
Yeah, yeah.
uh, like I don't have problem with stories changing. We as humans have been doing this forever, right? We
Mhm.
keep retelling old stories and kind of change them with our generation. It's just that I don't know, with these reboots, they want to keep the old, but also inject some new in it in a very inorganic form kind of way.
Very inorganic
That's
is the
fun.
perfect
Yeah.
word for that. I agree with that. Like it's okay if you want to sprinkle it in there and it feels natural, but it's almost like they're trying to like just. And again, this goes with. I think we talk about this with video games as well. Like when you or any media when you're shoving that kind of stuff down someone's throat to try to make a statement, like it just gets very very muddy. It's not even the fact that like even if you're the viewer and you agree with a lot of the stuff they're saying, it still gets jarring,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like think of
of
like the
course.
story of Life is Strange 2, right? Life is
Mhm.
Strange 2. I actually like the story of the two brothers. You know, you have the older brother trying to protect the younger brother. The younger brother has this gift, which is pretty much the force. You accidentally kill a cop, and now you're on the run and you're trying to evade the police. You're two Latino boys, so obviously they try to make it seem like a thing, like oh, could they be like illegal in this country and all the Trump
Mhm.
stuff and every they really tried to play into that, and I almost felt like if they would have sprinkled that stuff in there just like a little bit, it would have been fine. Instead, I felt like they kind of like just trying to hammer home like Trump's
Yeah.
America is a nasty, horrible place when
You,
it's
you know
it's
what?
I kind of I disagree with that, but it's like all right, whatever,
You know what the thing is? For I think most of the game is fine. Is able to portray those struggles pretty well. I feel like most of it. But yeah,
Mhm.
there are some segments which are just so exaggerated that they are just funny.
That's what I'm
It's
talking
like,
about. It's just they exaggerate it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you have like some characters being like cartoonishly evil, saying, "Oh,
yeah.
I can't wait for you Latinos to get deported."
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like the one guy says, and like this is not, there's like this. I think it's like the first episode. They go into this like gas station or something, and it's this old ass man, and he's racist as hell, and he ends up like tying up Daniel, and he says something like, "This is why that wall needs to be built to keep you guys over." It's like, what the who talks like that?
Well, you know what? There are people like that.
Oh yeah, there
In
is,
all
there
honesty.
is, but they just happen to run into the most racist ass person. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's not even the fact of the message. Like
Mhm.
okay, the message I get it. Like, I understand, but that's when I feel like it's going a bit too much. You know what I mean? It's okay to have political stuff in there and having,
But I think,
views, but it is pushed
mhm.
a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
my big
but I
complaint.
think that's just not fantastic writing. I think that the writing's a real problem here. I think that's if they made it a bit more nuanced, right? Instead of the
Hmm.
character just straight up saying, he might have just as well say, "I love killing non-white people." He might as well be saying stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, going back to Snow White. Well, you know what? I'm actually about the prince. He's already been. What have I told you? He's already been. What's the politically corrected? He's already been PC'd
Oh, has he?
years prior. Well, I mean, in the original, actually, in the original, he like I don't know if he like straight up assaults Snow White because Snow White, she gets poisoned by the apple. We all know that,
Yeah.
and from what I remember, she what happens is that the prince, kisses her while she's you know unconscious, which is creepy in itself.
Right.
But from what I understand, he does other acts upon her, which make her spit out this little chunk of poisoned apple, and that's why she wakes up.
What?
Yeah, I think that's it. I might be talking out of my ass here, but I am pretty sure that the reason why she's asleep because there's a piece of poisoned the apple in her throat. And whatever the prince was doing, he was doing. He shook her up pretty well, right? For that poisoned
Right.
apple. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's already. That's what I'm saying. It has already has been retold and
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and like redone. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
no,
I don't mind. I
I
don't mind anything that you told me as long as it's done, gracefully.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, like these movies are not made for us. Like they're clearly
Also,
not.
yes.
Like the originals will always be my favorite. I mean, like listen, I know I'm a big hairy guy, but I like Beauty and
Hmm.
the Beast. I like Cinderella, Snow
Hmm.
White, Peter Pan. Those original movies, Hercules, Aladdin, Alice
Oh,
in Wonderland.
Hercules! Damn.
Dude, I love Lion. I mean, the Lion King. I like the Lion King, but I feel like it's a bit overrated. But I still like it. I still think it's great.
I
But
know.
it's not
Hmm.
like my favorite. Hercules is probably like one of my
It's up
favorites.
there. It's up there.
Aladdin,
Yeah, that.
Aladdin, Aladdin, and Hercules are kind of like this to me. Like it
Very
could go
true.
either way,
Hmm.
but I kind of lean towards Hercules. But it could go either way. But like what I've realized is these movies are just not made for people like us. They're made for a new generation. It just I just want to be able to be there to show my daughter the originals though, because I just think they have a flair about them. I just think they have a different feel of them. You know what I mean?
Well, of course
Um,
they do.
but but I
We
mean,
also
and
grew up with them, so there's that.
yeah, yeah, and I want her to see those, and it's kind of cool. Like it's kind of like it is like don't mean to quote the Lion King, but it's kind of like the circle of life. Like I remember when I was a kid watching these, and now seeing her watch them, it's gonna be cool. So, um, but I
Although,
only
yeah,
but I only
although the
bring that
Lion
up.
King movie sucks ass, but yeah,
You talk oh you talking
yeah,
about
the live action one,
oh yeah, they're making
the
another one by the
live,
way. They're making
yeah,
another one too.
whatever,
It's called like
whatever.
Mufasa or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's called fucking piece of trash. That's what it's called.
Dude, like whose idea was that? Using realistic looking animals to portray these characters. One of the main reasons that movie works is because it's an animation, like the facial expressions, like
Yeah,
that.
right. It's very expressive, and now you have
Yeah,
just a bunch of
yeah. They just do this the whole
right,
time. Like like you don't even know they don't have expressions. They don't get angry. Yeah, their voice
and
might
they're
get
not
angry,
even
but
real lions.
yeah,
It's again animated. It's just shit. It just sucks because it's trying to whatever.
yeah, yeah. No, no. That could be a whole other topic of conversation. Like
Yeah.
looking at all like the remakes and comparing them to the originals. That's gotta be kind of cool.
Oh, that'll be good.
Um, but anyway, I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here because I wanna be able to help out, and I gotta go to work tomorrow, so I actually don't have that many hours left before I gotta go back to sleep. But um, this has been a great episode. I didn't know where this episode was gonna go because I know we had a lot of topics, but thank you guys for checking out another episode, Deadhead Podcast, episode 55. Next time I will have the correct thumbnail. Just some housekeeping. As always, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We have links in all respective socials. It should be a link wherever you're watching this right now. If you go to our actual page, it should be a bio we'll go in our bio, and it should be a link tree that'll take you to all of our socials. Be able to follow us everywhere for future shows. Jan and I are going to discuss over the next week or two, probably over the next week, because we really got to start planning for this stuff on our new show date. Because right now we don't have a concrete show date. We did it today because I wanted to have an episode for you guys, but also because Saturday is like my only day off now, so I just wanted a full day to where go hang out with family, go out of town. And I just didn't want to be contrived to being back for a showtime. So that was one of the main reasons I didn't want to do it for the weekend. Plus, Jan's got things going on the weekend as well. So we're going to talk about it a little bit more, see what works best for us. I know it's a little bit later for him over there than it is for me right now. So we're gonna talk this through, see what we could do. We're hoping to over the next few episodes. Like I said, there's plenty of games coming out over the next few weeks. Well, September is going to be a little dead, but we should have some things in the works. We're going to discuss hopefully the boys coming up soon. We have a couple things we're looking at. There's a couple guests I know they've been wanting to come on. A guest that Jan doesn't want, maybe.
Don't do that to me. Don't show me under the bus.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. No, it's not that. So he's an all right guy. Like, it'll be okay. But we have things in the works. We got guests that we could potentially talk to. We got things coming out. We've been so busy. But thank you guys for being patient, for the ones that have come back and subscribed to the channel, and to Axel, that seems like he's like a reoccurring guest. Polar Nights,
Oh,
thank you for if you've still been
the
around.
VIP, definitely.
Yeah, it's been good to have a couple of live viewers. I know a lot of our viewers come after the fact, so it's pretty cool to have some during the show as well. So hopefully we get more of that. But with that being said, yeah, be sure to follow us everywhere. We'll try to be a little bit more upfront. I got plenty of gameplay and stuff saved up. I'll try to put that out so we can keep the socials live, and hopefully you'll come back to see us. With that being said, Jan, you got anything for the people before we get out of here?
Well, not much. I just wanted to say that, as Dylan said, yeah, I also didn't know where the Sevens was going to go, but I think it went to all the best places. As a wiser man of me once said, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And good night, everybody.
Most of the time, it's the worst of times, but yeah, let's do that. Yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching episode 55. Episode 56 should be a good one, and we'll update everybody when we have more information on what that next show will be. But until then, stay dead, my friends.